The situation in Njemanze is extremely why that of the Abonima work is highly threatening.
We see their bulldozers here.
Yes.
Still ongoing, and people are picking up rubble.
Yeah. We are aware of that, and we can't stop it anywhere this very far. So the effort we are now trying to put up is to first to get the state government to provide relief assistance to all those that have been rendered homeless. The entire tenants population in Njemanze, which numbers about 24,000 tenants, 24,000 rent-paying tenants, each having an average family member of 5 persons. So if this is put together, so up to 120,000 households have been displaced in Njemanze.
What is because I just spoke to some tenants and they said they were harassed early on last month when they went to have a demonstration. They were harassed by police. What has been your effort at sensitizing the government to these problems?
Yes, when they went on that demonstration, we were not pre-informed. But when we heard that they were arrested, so we made arrangement. We contacted the UN Habitat Abuja, that's Professor Faladi, on the issue, and he advised us what to do. And we are making arrangements to get human rights lawyer to get them released. So, but before we could do that, they were released the following day. This is going on. It's what we call brazen violation of the people's right to housing. And not only that, a refusal by the state government to adopt due process and the rule of law in carrying out the eviction. As you can see, there is a due process of carrying out an eviction, even though the Land Use Act vests all lands in the state governor. But this does not actually give the state governor the right to unlawfully evict people from their houses. Yes, there are certain there's a degree of protection tenants enjoy under the law. Starting with the local law in Rivers State, there exists the 1991 Rent Control and Recovery of Possession of Premises Edict, which stipulates that for a tenant to be evicted from accommodation, such tenants has to be given 6 months statutory notice.
These people say there was no notice.
There was no notice.
There was no notice.
Yes.
And there's been no money. Apparently, the state government says it has paid. Do you know exactly the amount it has paid? Because we get some figures that 800 million has been paid to. We're going to expend 800 million on paying landlords. Do you have the figure?
Yeah, I'm hearing of 800 million from you, but what state government has officially declared was 1.4 billion, which they paid from Njemanze landlords, but my investigation confirmed that less than 150 million naira was paid to the landlords.
How many landlords are we talking about? Do you have an estimate?
Yes, you have an estimate of about 300 landlords with a total of about 2,000 buildings.
In Njemanze?
Yes.
And all these have been leveled?
Yes. Okay. So our context is not the money paid to the landlord, because this 1.4 billion is not meant for the tenants, it's meant for landlord's population. And nothing was provided for the tenants, and that has been our bone of contention with the state government, which we have equally taken a lawsuit, Federal High Court, which I can give you a copy of the paper.
Please do so, thank you.
And then which the state government disobeyed the order of the court. Then we dragged the issue to the presidency. The president referred the matter to the National Human Rights Commission, with the state governor equally defied their advice. Then we took the case to the United Nations, to the UN Special Rapporteur on Adequate Housing, and the intervention culminated in the UN Commission that visited Port Harcourt 12th to 16th March for probe activities, and at the end he released the report of their fact-finding mission, which prescribed that no further demolition shall be carried out until the due process of law is followed, which includes genuine consultation with the tenants, provision of proper and reasonable notice, at least 6 months. Then adequate alternative accommodation for the tenants and compensation for other inconveniences. And above that, that no eviction shall be carried out during bad weather, such as rainy season.
It's being
Yes. Initially, government came under the canopy of urban renewal, which promptly investigated and proved the state government wrong. The state government is carrying out this demolition simply because of the Silverbird project, which is just a cinema hall. And this cinema project is owned by one Mr. Bembus, of which the state governor himself has a personal interest.
In what way?
All I know is that the state government was dragged into the issue just to acquire vast land for the project. The state government was dragged in disguise into the project because if you see the memorandum of understanding between the state governor and the Bembus, being the managing director of Silverbird project, it reads that the Bembus, being the managing director of the project and some undisclosed partners, will have, again, will receive 80% of the gains of Silverbird, while the state government that is now displacing over 500,000 residents will take just only 20%. And this agreement is to last for 99 years, which is a century. And the demolition does not only mean in Njemanze, the whole of Abonimawo, Education Bus Stop, Ajigboro Park, that is 2 kilometers radius of the Silverbird project. I have to go just because of the cinema project. It confirms that the demolition of Abonimawo and Njemanze is not for urban renewal, but for Silverbird project. And the UN prescribed that the clearance of the 2 kilometer radius it's not for public interest, but for private. Yes. But since a memorandum has been entered under PPP, that public-private partnership, then they're not going to halt it. But it should not take the form of additions and demolition, but integrated upgrading exercise, under which the Silverbird project, the Silverbird group, the Sigmund company, the Shell, and the River State government will provide the fund for the landlords to upgrade their buildings to the standard that the government wants. The governor himself said that it is only God that can stop him from carrying out demolition, not even the president of this country. It's only God. And that he was going to carry out the demolition, that is going to roll out armored cars, gun boots, and first provide relief assistance to those that don't have anywhere to go. Because you go to churches around, you see them, go to a completed building, you see them, you see, it can be here maybe around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, you see them, littering, all over the open spaces. So, first of all, we are opening negotiation with the government to keep them somewhere first. They can sit down and address the main issue.
Okay.